Does anyone have a question?
Hi, Stuart. This is Jan.
Yes, John.
Can you talk about the the difference between letting go because it's one's karma and taking action?
What is the difference? I don't understand. I mean, when you let go, you have to take action. Living in the world, life is an interaction of human beings, and requires us to act. Now, there's many ways to act. You act with will, where you try to determine how everybody around you should live, and you know better than everybody else, which makes for just a very crazy situation. Or you act with letting go, listening to people, learning from life, letting go of your self importance, and letting life be an amazing teacher, an amazing university with many, many myriad departments that are there to teach us what we need to learn to work out our karma. All of this requires action. Living in the world requires action. So there's no separation between letting go and acting in the world. The determining factor is how we act in the world, how we interact with other people, how our ego or lack of ego extends itself into life. Are we more important than everybody else? And I think therein lies the biggest problem, one of the biggest problems for people. Everybody, in one way or another, wants to feel they are more important than other people. And frankly, I've learned in my life that there's nobody in this world that's more important or less important. And I am certainly not more important than the people in this life that have so much to teach me. So there's no separation between letting go and acting. If you let go, you act with consciousness. If you don't let go and you superimpose your ego on life, you act without consciousness. You know better than everybody else. And that can do nothing but create magnitudes of tension. It was there, and you keep putting people down, denying their right to be. That's one way of acting in the world. And certainly, I would think most people in life act that way because they have no training. They have no knowledge about how to build a system inside that's strong enough that they can act through surrender, through letting go, through capacity to listen to other human beings, to let life be. There's that wonderful song, Let It Be. I love that song. You know? And it's true, let it be. It's life, it's God's world, it's not our world. We're a bunch of tourists here in God's world. And how the world is created and what goes on in life with all the conflict and tension and problems, it's created to teach us what we need to learn to grow and get free of it. And to finally end that round of suffering and pain and difficulty that afflicts just about every human being. But all of it is based on activity. But there's a big word, how we act. Do we act it's like Rudy told me, either suffer consciously or you suffer like a schmuck. And I think, those are not big biblical words, but it certainly gets right down to the core of the being. It really does. It's just, street talk, but it gets right to the essence of it. You suffer consciously. If you act consciously in the world, or you suffer like a schmuck, acting unconsciously, creating not only suffering for yourself, but for everybody else. So there's no distinction between acting and letting go, other than how we do it, how we let go, how we interact with other human beings, how we conserve a higher energy in the universe, how we conserve life, people, life. This is to me very important. And this is not something you can learn because you read about it in a book. You have to grow into this. It's an expansion of one's consciousness, a development of a chakra system, a building of a stronger connection with higher energy in the universe, enables one to grow into what I'm talking about. It's not something like, stamp it out. It doesn't work that way. Or write it on a blackboard and everybody memorizes it and they go out on the street and they go into road rage when some stupid thing happens while they're driving a car. We grow into it, then it becomes a permanent reality. And we come to the realization we don't know better, but we can grow and learn and evolve and become conscious human beings, and then act that way in the world. And if we make a mistake, we learn from it. And we insult another person, we apologize to them. I hope that's clear. I don't know how to make it clearer. But I think it's not only for you, Jan, it's for all of us. I mean, this voice comes through me. It talks. I have to learn a lot of this stuff myself.
Thank you, Stuart.
You're
Thank you very
welcome.
much.
You're welcome. Does anyone else have a question
Could you talk about shame?
about who?
Shame.
Shame.
Yeah.
What are you ashamed of?
Not me, actually, other people's.
Other
I,
people's shame. It shouldn't
yes.
bother you. It's their problem. I mean, look, there are things we inflict on ourselves: guilt, shame, being embarrassed, being, threatened by life. We inflict this on ourselves, and there's no need for it. What do you have to be ashamed of? I mean, yeah, we all have at one point or another hurt somebody else. Now, there's no sense in being ashamed of that. There's a great sense in what did I learn from that? How can I grow because of what happened in that situation? Then you approach it consciously and you don't walk around feeling ashamed because you did something stupid. You know, doing something stupid is part of the human race. Everybody does something stupid. What do people learn from it? Do they grow because of their stupidity? Or do they keep funneling stupidity, and spitting it out, day and month and year after year after year? and never learn from it. How do they grow? How do I learn from these things? I mean, I learned years ago just dealing with my delightful and wonderful daughter when she was going through difficult things in her life. I never made her feel like she was ashamed of what she did. I would always ask her, "What did you learn?" That's the question I would ask her all the time. What did you learn? And she would say, "You're the only one who does that, Daddy. Everybody else is lecturing me on the right way to live. And you're asking me, what did I learn?" And I think that's a much better question. Instead of telling somebody, you should be ashamed of yourself. What? What did you learn? How can you grow because of what you just did? And know that, I love you unconditionally. Good, bad, and different, whatever you did, doesn't matter. I love you, and I just want to know if you learned something. Then we become more human. And I think that is part of what this meditation teaches, how to get more human, how to grow because of whatever takes place in our life, how to learn important lessons from it about what we need to do to change, not how we're going to change somebody else, what we need to do to change. Therein lies a very profound sense of humility. And that takes enormous strength to be able to just, what do I need to do to change? You become a child of God. Just asking that simple question.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Does anyone else have a question they'd like to ask? Listen, I'd like to just thank you all. Every month I send out this virtual begging bowl online. And I really have such gratitude when people, find it in their heart to contribute. I don't get a lot of money doing this, but whatever it is, it helps pay for food, rent, this, that, the other. And I just have a lot of gratitude for that people are saying, thank you. I don't have a big ashram anymore where people can come and work and do and fix and clean it. And, I don't have that. I have just this, you know. And one way of people saying thank you is contributing something. So I don't have to go out and drive a taxi in order to come back here and sit and teach Kundalini yoga. You know? So I want you to all know that I am deeply grateful. And I have no fee for this. You contribute what you can afford. If you can't afford anything, then I suggest you grow up, and learn how, to be responsible that way. It's another way of learning a lesson. So thank you all. God bless you all for contributing and helping this situation to continue online. Does anyone else have a question they would like to ask? Okay, there'll be meditation tomorrow at 1 o'clock and also 7:30, and class on Sunday. Actually, there won't be a class on. I'm having a retreat this weekend here, and so the class will be canceled on Sunday. God bless you all. Thank you. Thank you for being in my life. Thank you for being a family that extends itself all around the world, from Mexico to Brazil to Belgium to, it's ridiculous, you know. I always say that we should somehow submit this to the United Nations and show them that there can be peace in the world if people learn how to work on themselves instead of just talking about it day in and day out without ever changing inside. So thank you. Bless you all. And I'm looking forward to seeing everybody soon.
Thank you, Stuart.
Thank you,
You're
Stuart.
welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you for the wonderful classes.
You're welcome, Chris. God bless you.
Thank you so much.